As part of our weekly mastermind session here at PouncerAI, we talk a lot about different topics, and today's topic is going to be connects. So I'm going to share with you some information that we shared with other PouncerAI users at the mastermind every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, if you're asking. Okay, so what you see on the screen here is a spreadsheet that we created up to kind of help you understand the value of connects in your Upwork life. So we're going to do a couple of different things. One, we're going to make some assumptions and we're going to put in some values. So let's say you want to earn $3,000 per month from Upwork. That is money in your pocket. Okay. We're going to make an assumption that to put that $3,000 in your pocket, we're going to have to budget 20% for cost. That includes the 10% fee that Upwork charges you, as well as maybe some tools you're using and the value of connects. So in other words, in order to put $3,000 in your pocket, you're going to have to earn $3,750 every month to put that together. That basically comes down to the number of hours that you want to do to earn that $3,750. So let's say you're working part-time. Well, that would be 80 hours per month, right? That's essentially maybe 10 hours a week. It's 20 hours a week. So you're thinking, all right, maybe I'll do this part-time. Well, that means that your hourly rate has to be $46.88. In other words, in order to achieve that $3,750, you're going to have to sit there and work 80 hours to earn at a rate of $47 per hour that you work. So maybe you want to do more than that, 120. Well, your rate would go down, right? You could charge 31 to earn the same amount. Or maybe you wanted to earn less. Well, now it goes up. So you start to see how this actually works when we start looking at putting in values. But we'll just go ahead and call that 80 hours. That's a part-time gig, earning basically $47 per hour that you are actually working out there. Great so far. Now, remember, though, the cost. So how does the cost basically work at 20%? Well, we do know that you're going to have to spend 10%, give Upwork their 10% cut. That's standard, can't get around that. So you're going to have to give them $375. You also may have some tools that you spend money for. Let's say you purchase a subscription to Canva or Adobe or what web development tools. Every one of us has tools we have to spend money out of our pocket for, and we should be recouping that cost by the services that we're charging. And then what's left over is connects. This is the budget that we're going to say we're going to spend to connect. So if you have lower tool costs, you should spend more on connects. But in this case, I'm going to keep it pretty basic and simple. So to earn $3,000 in my pocket, I got to make $3,750. Working 80 hours a month, I can charge $47 approximately for that work. All right, so let's go down a little bit more. How many connects can I buy for that $225? Remember, that was our budget up above here. Let's just go back up here real quick. So I'm going to be spending $225 on connects. How many connects can I get? Well, they cost 15 cents each, so you're going to be getting 1,500 connects every single month. Now, the next input is how much does it cost you to apply on average? So I've seen jobs anywhere from like 4 connects up to 400 connects. So on average, there's going to be an amount that you're going to feel comfortable spending. So let's call it 16. That seems to be about the midway point for a lot of jobs out there. So you're going to spend 16 connects out of the 1,500 connects you bought for $225. That means that you can send out 94 proposals every single month. Now think about that. If you spent $225 in that month on connects, that's 1,500 connects you purchased. You're spending 16 every time you apply. Now you've got 94 proposals that you should be sending out. Sounds like a lot, right? Well, then we want to look at the closing ratio. So what's the closing ratio? Of all those 94 that we send out, what percentage of those people that see your cover letter, see your proposal, say yes? Is it 2% or is it 20%? So what we did is we just put in some hypothetical closing ratios, people who are saying yes. And in this case, at 2%, that means you would be getting 2 jobs out of the 94 that you spent, which means you're going to have to make about $2,000 on each one of those jobs. However, maybe your closing ratio is a lot higher. Maybe it's 20%. So now you can get 19 jobs at an average job cost of $200 each. So what the spreadsheet does is it makes it real simple for you to say, if I spend this amount of money, in this case $225, how many connects can I get? Which is, in this case, just taking the numbers and then averaging 16 per job that I apply for will give you this value. So now you have a quick little worksheet to say, if I spend this much money, how many connects, how many proposals, what percentage closing should I expect to make my money back to get to my target of, in this case, $37.50. But now you may be asking, well, Sean, what happens if I don't spend any money on connects? Okay, which is impossible because anytime you apply for things, you have to spend it on connects. So let's go to the extreme. If you spent nothing on connects, your hourly rate would go down to $44 an hour. That's $2.81 less than if you spent $225 on connects. In other words, if you charge $44 an hour, you're still working the 80 hours, you still need to take out some costs, you still have to earn $3,500. But for $2.81 more on your hourly rate, you could afford to buy 1,500 connects. So the way that I look at this is like, if you got, an extra $2 or $3 an hour, would you be willing to spend that to acquire a lot more potential customers? And I think for some freelancers, the answer is going to be yes. So I hope the spreadsheet helps. I'll include a link below so that you can play with it yourself. But I think what really it illustrates is that you want to spend money on connects, budget for them, and then get active in sending out lots of proposals, because some level of those are going to close in your favor and hopefully make you a lot more than this hypothetical situation.